Hey guys, it's Olivia and I'm back with another video. So this video may seem like deja vu, and that's because I made a video just like this about a year and a half ago. And so you already know what happened because you read the title. I switched majors again. So we're just going to talk about that. That's just a quick little life update school-wise. Okay, so I am currently in my 4th year of university. I just started this month. And so one thing that I know some people ask is like, is it too late to switch majors, blah, 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 all this stuff, right? And so the first time I switched majors was halfway through my 2nd year. And then I kind of sort of already switched halfway through my 3rd year, but then I didn't officially get into my new major until a few weeks ago. Let me just explain the whole thing. So, if you've seen the first video, then you know that I originally applied to university for accounting, got in, blah, 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 all that jazz, right? Then after a year and a half, accounting was boring and it wasn't that I wasn't good at it, it's that I didn't care about it, therefore I wasn't putting in the work. I would like to consider myself a bright individual. However, if I don't care about something, it's not getting done. Like, right? So if I had accounting homework, I didn't really feel like doing accounting homework. You know what I mean? Anyway, so after a year and a half, I was over it. And then I switched to digital media, which is basically a dumbed down version of computer science. And instead of graduating with a Bachelor of Science, you graduate with a Bachelor of Arts. But essentially, you do kind of the same courses. Like, there were people who were computer science majors in my digital media classes, right? Right. So then I did that for a year. So I did that from halfway through my 2nd year to halfway through my 3rd year, and then I didn't like it. And so in my first video where I switched majors, I said, oh, I think this is going to suit me better. I think I chose the right thing this time. And I wasn't only lying to you, but I was lying to myself. So let's go into that for a little bit. So when I knew that I wanted to switch from accounting, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to switch to. And the reason why I chose digital media is because my oldest brother is a programmer, and so my parents already like know what programming entails and they're comfortable with that career choice because my brother was already doing that career. So then I chose digital media, which is coding. Like, you can choose different streams. I chose web development. And so I chose that because I'm like, my parents already know what it is. They're going to be comfortable with it. They'll be less upset by me switching majors if I choose this. So that's why I chose it. Like, it was better than accounting, but it wasn't good. Right? So anyways, after doing that for a year, I'm like, wow, I really don't like this. And so like, I do this YouTube thing. You guys see me here every single week, every single Monday. And like, I'm on other socials. Like, I'm on Instagram, which like stories, I guess, can be a video. And I don't know if you guys know, but I'm on TikTok. At the time of me filming this, I'm at 48,000 followers over on there if you want to follow me. But anyways, so like, I do video and I like enjoy video. And the thing is, when I originally was applying to university back when I was in high school, I wanted to do film, and I basically got talked out of it because it wasn't a practical career. And also at the time, I was at this place where I wanted people to take me seriously for some reason. Like, for example, side note, when I was in grade 10, I won a subject award for keyboarding. I took like a keyboard piano class and I got a subject award for it. And so basically there was this guy who wasn't even really that nice. Like, I knew him and I knew he wasn't nice. Like, he had never said one nice word to me ever before. But for some unknown reason, like, 16-year-old me cared what he said. Anyways, so he was like, oh, you got honor roll and a subject award. What for? And then I'm like, oh, keyboarding. He's like, oh, that's not a real subject. And so I just basically began to realize that people don't respect the arts. And so 2 years later, so that was in grade 10, then 2 years later in grade 12, when I was applying to university and I was thinking of doing film, I was like, well, film is the arts and no one's going to take me seriously if I tell them that I'm going to be a film major next year. And so I chose the practical route because I cared about what people thought because I was 18 and dumb. And so that's why I originally did accounting. And then I switched to digital media because I thought my parents would be okay with it. And now I've switched again and I am majoring in film and minoring in music. And I'm kind of upset with myself because I could have, like, if I had just thought about myself 3 years ago when I was 18, almost 4 years ago now because I'm about to be 22, but whatever. If I had thought about myself and what I wanted to do and not what other people thought, like for example, I don't talk to anybody from high school. I haven't spoken to anybody from high school since graduation, okay? I don't care about your opinion. I don't even talk to you anymore. We're literally not a part of each other's lives, right? And so it's like, I dictated what I was going to do with the rest of my life based on the opinions of people who I don't even talk to anymore. Like, are you kidding me? Anyways, so if I had just thought about myself and what I wanted to do and what I was going to be happy doing, I would have chosen film 4 years ago. But no, it took me until now to realize I'm going to do what I want. And so halfway through my third year, I started taking film courses. I was still technically enrolled in my previous major, but I just like dropped all my digital media courses and took up film because I was like, I'm going to switch and I'm going to get in because I have the GPA. And so I'm just going to start taking the courses from now. That way I won't start this new major with 0 credits, right? So anyways, so I applied to major in film and minor in music. And I have a friend who was minoring in music for a little bit. She's not anymore, but she had told me that you don't have to audition for the minor. And also when I looked it up, I found that you don't have to audition for the minor. So which is why I applied for the music minor, because I was always interested in music, but I didn't want to do the music major because I figured I couldn't pass the audition. Not that like I'm not good at my instruments. Like I play the piano. I've been playing the piano since I was 6 and I've been playing the flute since I was 12. I ended up auditioning with flute simply because like the flute's easier in my opinion. But anyways, like I was in band in high school and I wouldn't have stage fright. Like it would be time to go on stage. I'd play, be fine, whatever. But when it comes to doing a solo, I'm always like shaking. So it's like playing the piano like this is kind of hard. And when you're playing the flute and your breath is like, you can't play, you know what I mean? And so I would always get nervous when doing a solo. And so I'm like, I can't audition for this program, not because I can't play, but because I won't be able to play when I'm doing a solo. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do the minor. So then I applied for that back in March, 6 months ago. I applied for that. And it says pending, 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 pending. And then because of the time I applied, they said the latest date would be September 1st or something that I would get my results back. So regardless of that, every single day throughout the summer, I was checking, refreshing the page, seeing if I got it, and it just kept saying pending. Then September 1st rolls around and it still says pending. Then the second shows up and it still says pending. So I'm like, no, this is ridiculous. So then I emailed the department. I emailed the film department and the music department. The film department is like, oh, we don't know what's going on. You have the GPA, blah, blah, blah. So then the music department gets back to me and they're like, well, did you audition? And I'm like, I literally know someone who's in a music minor and she didn't have to audition. And I looked it up on the website and it said I didn't have to audition. But I'm like, you know what? Whatever. How do I audition? Because I'm like, obviously I don't have to go in person because Miss Rona. So I'm like, how do I send it in? Who do I send it to? Blah, blah, blah. So basically, another reason why I chose the flute is because earlier I said flute is easier. And also because I had 1 day to teach myself 2 contrasting pieces in order to audition for this program. So I'm like, obviously I'm going to choose the easier instrument because I don't have time to be teaching myself 2 contrasting pieces on the piano. Like I ain't got time for that, right? So anyways, I had 24 hours to learn 2 songs and audition for this program. I got it done. I did it. And I submitted my audition, blah, blah, blah. Then like 3 days pass. And then they emailed me basically telling me that I got in. But then when I went online to the form, like where I had applied to switch majors, like it still said pending. So I'm like, yay, thanks for the email. Thanks for telling me I passed the audition, all that jazz. But can you do it through the system? Can you please tell the system that I'm in this major? Because I can't sign up for any courses because I'm not enrolled in like this program yet. So I'm like, can you please do it through the system? Like, stop telling me. Tell the department, like, come on. Anyways, so then finally, like 3 or 4 days later, I get in. I'm finally in. This is after school had already started. So this is the 3rd week of school, but this is my first like full week of school or something. Whatever. The point is, I missed some school because they took forever to get me in the program. And the thing is, let's say you do have to audition for the minor, which obviously I had to, but before I was informed that I didn't have to. When you fill out the program change request form, they should tell you that you have to do the audition. Like when you click submit or before you click submit, there should be something like don't forget to submit your audition or submit your audition by this date or whatever, right? Like one, I confirmed with someone who was in the program that she did an audition. I looked it up on the school website. It said I didn't have to audition. And when I went to change my program, there was nothing that told me I had to audition. So obviously I'm not thinking I have to audition. So I'm here sitting, waiting for 6 months, wondering why it's pending when the whole time I just had to do an audition. Anyway, so I play my contrasting pieces, blah, blah, blah. I get in and now I'm in my courses and I'm doing rather well. So I'm content with that. But you know how I said that I started taking film and music courses the previous semester, even though I wasn't officially in. So I did so well in those classes. The lowest grade I got in my second semester of third year, after I dropped all my digital media courses, the lowest grade that I got was a B. Okay, I got a B plus, an A, and an A plus. The A plus, like my school, when you're like getting grades on papers and tests, it gives you a percentage, but when they actually post your grade like on your transcript, it's just a letter, right? So an A plus is between a 90 and a 100. So even though it doesn't say it, I got 100% in that course. And I know that because there were 3 tests and I got 100% on all 3 tests, right? And so I'm like, clearly this is what I'm meant to be doing because I'm actually doing well in it. Because one, I already know a lot of this stuff because I've been studying music for my whole life and I've been doing this YouTube thing for 4 years. So while I don't know everything about film and my videos aren't really cinematic, a lot of them are just like this, me sitting down talking to the camera, but like there are things I know. Like I know how to give myself a little bit of a blurry background and I know how to set up my lighting and my audio and all this stuff, right? So I do know a little bit about film because I'm like self-taught. So I don't know everything, but I do know some things that I was able to teach myself over the past 4 years, right? And so I'm like, this is what I'm good at. I already know that I'm good at it. And now I'm just going to get a piece of paper that certifies that I'm good at it. And also for the things I don't know, because I don't know everything, I'm actually interested to learn what it is. So for the things I don't know, I want to do the homework. Like back when I was doing accounting, oh, I don't know this. Well, I don't feel like doing accounting homework. Well, now, oh, I don't know this. Well, I actually feel like doing my film homework. I actually feel like doing my music homework. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I'm going to excel at this because one, I already have a good background in it, and two, I'm actually interested in what I'm learning. And so, yeah, like I'm just upset with myself that I didn't do this from the jump because one, I wasted so much money being in 2 previous majors, and two, like I wasted time. And so I don't know if I said this in my first switching majors video, but I originally intended to graduate university in 3 years. I wanted to take summer school, which would have made me graduate in 3 years. So I graduated high school in 2017 and I wanted to graduate university in 2020, but then my university had a strike in my first year. And so basically summer school didn't happen. So that threw everything off. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to end up graduating in 4. Then I switched majors, which made it that I was going to graduate in 5. Right? Because 1 year in my old major and then 4 years in my new major. But then now I'm at the beginning of my 4th year and I've switched majors again. So then it's like, do I have like 3 more years of school left? No. You want to know why? One, because despite the fact that my previous 2 majors have nothing to do with film or music, for every major you have to take a certain amount of credits outside of your major because they want you to be a well-rounded student, right? So some of my accounting and digital media credits will go towards my film major because you need to take credits outside of your major. So I'm not starting with 0. Plus, I started taking some film courses last semester, some film and music courses. Plus, I finessed my way into the first, second, and third year film courses. So technically, I don't have the prerequisites for any of these, but I finessed my way into the class. And so I'm taking my first, second, and third year courses this year, which means next year I have to take my fourth year courses and then I'm done. So I originally wanted to graduate in 2020, but then my school messed up. So then I was going to graduate in 2021. Then I switched majors. So then I was going to graduate in 2022. And even though I switched majors again, I'm still on track to graduate in 2022. So yeah, you don't have to worry about me. I'm not going to be in school forever. I don't have time for that. I'm over it. I'm like done. Like, even though now I'm actually studying something that I'm interested in, I don't want to be in school forever. Like, this is my 17th year of school. I started school at the age of 4. I'm 21. I'm sick and tired of going to this building and coming back home every day. Like, obviously now it's online, but you know what I mean. Like, you go to this building, have people tell you what to do, and then you go home and continue to do what they told you to do, and then you repeat it the next day. Like, I'm sick and tired of school. I need to be done with school. But yeah, so that's kind of the story of why I switched majors so many times. And this time I genuinely believe that I have chosen the right thing. The first time I chose accounting because I wanted people to take me seriously, whatever that means. And the second time I switched to a safe major because I figured my parents would be okay with it. And now it's gotten to the point where I'm just gonna do whatever I want. Like, legit. Like, I'm paying my way through school and I'm not gonna pay for something that I don't even like, just straight up. So yeah, that's what it is. And also, when it comes to like, oh, what job am I going to get? Do I know? No, I don't. I don't know what job I'm going to get when I graduate. So this might not sound like a good plan, like, oh, just do whatever you want and worry about the future later. But let me tell you this. If I had stayed in accounting or digital media, I never would have graduated. You know how you hear the term C's get degrees, which basically means you need a C average to graduate? Okay, when I was in my previous 2 majors, I did not have a C average. I was doing so poorly. I wasn't failing, but I wasn't passing by much, if I'm being completely honest with you, right? And so I wouldn't have graduated. So who cares? Oh, you can get this great job as an accountant once you graduate. It doesn't matter because I was never going to graduate. So who cares about the jobs you could get if you're never going to be qualified for it because you're never going to graduate? So it's like, if I'd stayed in accounting, I wouldn't have gotten a job because I wasn't going to graduate. And now I'm in film and I'm not going to get a job because it's not a practical degree. But it's like, so either way, am I going to spend years doing something I hate to still not get a job, or at least spend years at least enjoying myself for a little bit and then figure it out later? That's my thought process. And another thing, I don't know about you, but for me, I've noticed that life just kind of works itself out. I believe I will get a career, whether it's in my field or not. A bunch of people study something and then they don't get a job in their field, right? So just because I'm majoring in film and minoring in music doesn't mean I have to work in the film or music industry. It really doesn't. Like, at this point, once you have a degree, you can work your way into different places, right? Like, I could do music education, right? Like, I don't have to be a musician. I don't have to be a composer. I don't have to be a conductor. I could be a music teacher, or I could do music therapy, or blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously that requires more certification. Like, I can't be like, oh, I have a music degree, so now I'm going to go into music therapy. Like, obviously that requires more schooling, whether it's a certificate or whatever other program. The point is, there's so many avenues that you might not even think of. And so I honestly and truly think that I'm going to be fine. And one last thing, this is something that I've been telling my dad for a while, maybe for the past year or so. I've been telling him, I'm going to get my degree. I'm going to walk across the stage and get my handshake and a piece of paper, right? I'm going to do the whole thing. However, I hope to not have to use my degree. I hope that by the time I graduate, I'll have this piece of paper, but I won't have to use it. And yes, I know that that sounds like it's a waste of money. Like, why are you getting a degree if you have no intention of using it? But I don't know, it's good to have. Like, I'm not the kind of person to put all your eggs in one basket. I like to have multiple options. So it's like, what do I want to do that doesn't require my degree? I've been doing this little YouTube thing, and I'm hoping that in the next couple of years, because I'm not graduating until 2022, April of 2022, so about a year and a half from now. So in a year and a half, I don't know where this channel is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to, I don't know, grow on Instagram and then I'm going to be able to do sponsored posts. I don't know if I'm going to grow on TikTok, and like the Creator Fund isn't in Canada yet, but maybe the Creator Fund will be in Canada, or maybe I'll be able to do sponsored posts on there, or whatever. Maybe I'll do well in affiliate marketing or whatever. Like, I kind of hope to like work for myself. Like, I don't really want to do the 9 to 5 thing. However, if I have to, I will. Like, I'm not opposed to it. So it's like one of my goals is to pursue social media and like entrepreneurship and blah, blah, blah. And if that doesn't work, I have my degree where I'm qualified for whatever these 9 to 5 jobs want from me. And then another avenue is I am a track athlete, and one of my goals is to make Team Canada by the time I graduate, which is also 2022, right? And so being on Team Canada in and of itself doesn't pay that much, but like you can get signed by like Nike or Adidas or whatever, and then you make money from that. You know what I mean? And so it's like I have 3 things that I'm pursuing. I'm pursuing like YouTube and TikTok and social media in general, and then I'm pursuing my degree, and then I'm pursuing track, right? And so it's like, even if I don't become the Olympic champion or the like world record holder or something, simply being on Team Canada gets you a paycheck. It's not a lot, but it's money. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I don't want to be the kind of person that has one stream of income. I don't want to be the kind of person who's like, this is my only path. I like to give myself multiple options, and I also want to potentially be able to do multiple at a time. Like, I could make YouTube videos and be on Team Canada. Like, I can run track in the day and film a video at night. You know what I mean? And so it's like, why can't I do 2 of those things? So it's like, right now I do YouTube, school, track. When it comes time for me to work after I graduate, I can do YouTube, work, track. You know what I mean? So it's like, because I spend as much time at school as I would at a job. I probably spend more time at school than I would at a job, right? So I'm pretty decent with my time management skills. So who's to say that I can't do all 3? You know what I mean? I don't like to have all my eggs in one basket, because if you like work the traditional job, you can get laid off, you can get fired, this, that, and the other. Like, when COVID happened, people thought they were secure in their jobs, and now half of them are laid off. You know what I mean? So it's like, just because you got your degree doesn't mean that you're set. Just because you're getting views on YouTube right now doesn't mean you're set, because views can go away, because they can change the algorithm. Just because you're running fast right now doesn't mean you're set, because you can get injured, right? So it's like, I don't just want to have one job. I don't just want to have one stream of income. I'm working on so many things. So yeah, I'm pursuing my degree, but maybe I won't have to use it. Maybe I'll do well on social media. Maybe I'll do well in track. Maybe I'll make Team Canada. Maybe I'll get signed by Nike. Maybe I'll win an Olympic medal. I don't know what I'm going to do, right? But it's like, I'm not scared, like, oh, I'm not choosing a stable career. I don't care, because that's not my only goal. I have other avenues that I'm looking at. So, like, I'm not thinking about, oh, what job can I get with this degree? Because there's a whole bunch of other ways to make money. So that's what I'm focusing on. Yes, I'm focusing on my degree, but I'm also focusing on YouTube. I'm here every single week. Like, and I've been here every single week for 4 consecutive years, right? And I'm on TikTok every single day, and I'm doing track 5 days a week minimum, right? And so it's like, I'm pursuing multiple things at a time. So me not choosing a stable degree for a stable career doesn't bother me, right? So what is my advice, if you even care about my advice? Study something that you're interested in. Like, if you are not interested, you're not going to spend 5 hours on a research essay, like not even writing the essay, just the research part. You're not gonna spend that time on something that you don't care about. You're not going to. I was doing like a film studies course over the summer, and I wrote a 15-page essay. Do you think I would have written a 15-page essay about business? No, I wouldn't have. I would not have done that. It wouldn't have happened. But am I willing to write a 15-page essay about film and the cinematics and like literally analyzing a film like shot by shot, like, oh, this is a medium shot, then they zoomed out here, then this person entered from the left and then exited from the right, and this, that, and the other. Like, I literally, a 1.5 hour movie took me 4 hours to watch because I kept pausing it to write out every single stage direction. Like, obviously they're not on a stage, but you know what I mean. I was writing every single thing. This person enters from here, fades to black, fades in here, blah, 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 blah. I wrote every single detail of that movie. It took me 4 hours to watch a movie that was an hour and a half. And then that was just me taking the notes. Then I went back and wrote the actual essay, and it ended up being 15 pages. I spent like 10 hours working on that. Would I have done that for accounting? No, I wouldn't have. Choose something that you're willing to put the work into. Sometimes I'll spend 10 hours editing a YouTube video. If I didn't like making video, why would I do that? You need to study something that you're interested in. Yes, stable income, safe job, blah, 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 all that stuff. That's important. Being able to support yourself and not living with your parents till you're 40 is important. But like at the same time, if you're like me and you're not willing to put in the work for something you're not interested in, because some people they can just tough it out, right? But for me, I cannot, right? So if you're like me and you're not going to do well in something you're not interested in, it doesn't matter the jobs you could get if you graduate, if you're never gonna graduate because your marks are so poor because you're not interested in what you're doing, right? So that's my advice. Do something that you like. I know that it's hard, especially when you're 18 and you're being told to choose what you're going to do till you're 65 when you're a teenager. Like, you just became an adult like 4.5 seconds ago, and now they're telling you to choose what you're going to do for the rest of your life. And I also know that at that age, you most likely live with your parents or a guardian, and they're also telling you to be practical and all that stuff. And you're probably at that age where you care about what other people think and all that stuff. Like, I was 18. Okay. And I know it's only 3 years later or 4 years later because I'm almost 22, but whatever. I know it hasn't been that long, but so much has changed within me in the past 3 or 4 years. And it's just gotten to the point where I'm going to do what I want to do. And I just like have faith that it's going to work itself out, because so far in my 21 years of life, anything that has gone wrong eventually worked itself out. So maybe that's not the greatest advice, but this is advice from someone who's literally been there and keeps switching majors because she didn't know what she wanted to do with her life. Or no, I knew what I wanted to do. I was just too afraid to do it. And now I'm doing it. And I bet you it's going to work itself out. Like, once again, I'm here every single week. I've been here every single week for 4 years. I'm going to be here for another year and another and another year. So you're going to be here after I graduate. You're going to be here when I either get my job or make Team Canada or blow up on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. You're going to be here to see what happens after and how much you want to bet it's going to work itself out. So yeah, that's it. That's this week's video. It's longer than I thought it was going to be, but that's basically what's going on in my life right now. And I've finally just chosen what I want to do. And it's been a very good decision for me. And I'm hoping to graduate in 2022. And that's it. I've switched majors in my 4th year. And that's okay. It's not too late to switch majors. It's not too late to choose yourself and choose what you want to do. No, it's not too late. So if you're in your 4th year, switch. Like, who cares? Like, oh, I did 3 years in this program and I'm about to graduate. Okay, so you want to graduate with that degree and then spend the rest of your life doing this thing that you don't like? No, that's what I thought. Switch. So anyways, that's all for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you think your friends will enjoy it, be sure to share it with them. All my social media links will be down below in case you want to follow me on there. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make new videos every Monday, and I'll see you next Monday with a new video.